Good evening, Hyperbolic gang. Tonight, I want to dive into a wider perspective of the current things happening around the world and just look into some news in different countries, different languages, different traditions. You know, we are in a very unprecedented times where everything could go even more downwards sooner than later, so it is better to prepare and brace ourselves for a worst case scenario than later be surprised and blame somebody else again. Like currently everybody is blaming that virus for stuff that is happening, but I do believe all of this is a bit deeper. But this, first of all, is not the main topic about what I want to talk tonight at the Hyperbolic Talks #3. Finally managed to basically get a nice routine and get this thing running. Even the quality is going to be low because I have very bad upload limitations down here in the lockdowns out of Africa. And that's where I want to start this whole journey with. Currently, like all the currencies around the world are tanking. And a good example for that is Venezuela. Venezuela has been wrecked for a while. There the people even use in-game items, of exchange. You know, they take game items to exchange basically some sort of value because their local currency is doomed. I mean, it is not the last country that can encounter such events. I mean, we should never forget history repeats itself, and I just want to share something that I do believe everybody of us should know and benefit personally and contribute and share to friends and family so that they also should. It's better to be prepared and then later to, again, playing the whole blame game what is currently playing with the virus. I cannot say it more often. This is all on a way bigger scale than the crash of 2008, 2009. We are already in the beginning depression and the ride just started. I mean, the unemployment numbers in America going crazy. It's 10 million and it's not gonna get better, guys. A lot of people will lose their current jobs and we will have to, you know, transfer to maybe something else, learn something else, get familiar with blockchain technology and opportunities offered in this field because it is a growing field. I mean, you can see the inevitable happening, digital cash, digital assets, you know, it is just going into that direction. Even the Union Bank of Philippines, you know, this virus thing will accelerate this whole process. I mean, it would have happened sooner or later, but I have a feeling that now everything is just accelerated and it's maybe good to look into that more and more. You know, that's why I want to share some insights around the world, stuff is happening here in the Philippines, digital currencies abroad, and I mean, South African rand is tanking. It's soon also just, the irony says it, and there is something funny about it. Toilet paper, you know, just all of those printed things, they will be worthless. They are actually worthless, but not everybody is financially educated because you don't learn that in school. And I also had to learn it the hard way on my own. And I thought, why not share some raw insights? And I do believe the younger generation will have it easier with accepting digital currencies than maybe the older folks, because they're still like gold and, you know, they don't trust that whole thing, but it's there, guys. I mean, it's inevitable, you cannot change it. Europe is on the brink, being separated soon. I mean, the Germans didn't help the Italians. Stuff is happening there. So everywhere around the world, this situation is intense, and we shouldn't put our focus on those numbers so much daily. Wake up and look at statistics of the virus. We should wake up and see maybe what's happening around so that we are prepared and not surprised. It's a good thing to do. And then also, blockchain, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of that stuff. As use cases now, Microsoft, big companies, esports, stuff is happening. I wasn't even aware of that until I now had enough time to research and figure out, what is actually happening, how is the digital age going to look like, or how could it possibly look like. And I want to definitely share everything I gathered on information for the past days in quarantine, and keep you informed what I come across. And if you do appreciate it, then hit the like, subscribe, share with friends, family, and give them a perspective. And blockchain gaming has been around for a while. I wasn't even aware of it, and it's big. Casinos going to use cryptocurrencies because you don't want to transport tons of cash and things around, and it's all unnecessary costs. And we are going to the digital age soon. Again, as proof, our economy is changing. With people are still stuck, I feel, in the industrial age, where a transaction needs to be from South Africa to I don't know where, Iceland, 3 days or something. For what, where we have to cut the crap, once and for all. That needs to be instantly, and it is already possible. So why not use technology that makes life faster? And definitely we are going to the right direction. And it's not only currency, because it is usable in real life. For example, Ethereum is another cryptocurrency. I don't know who hasn't heard about it, but soon a lot of jobs might be lost, and that's why it's good to look into alternatives. For example, on smart contracts, you can actually, transfer already. You can transfer wealth. You can buy properties, sell properties, exchange assets. You don't need a middleman, because one puts the information at one side, and then the other side gets confirmed, and you don't need a middleman, because the code's not going to happen if it's not the right exact thing written from A to B. There is no faking, there's no manipulation, no cuts from a middleman. So a lot of people are going to go out of work, like accountants and stuff like this, because smart contracts are definitely the future, and Ethereum, the blockchain, provide really great smart contracts and decentralized applications, which banks also include. Every day of this crisis, there's more and more banks and central banks, especially adding blockchain technology into their systems, and nobody talks about it. And that's, why shouldn't they? Everybody's freaking out at home now, and relying on that what the government or banks will bail them out and save them. Meanwhile, they bail out the big companies and friends and rich people with trillions and trillions, and then Americans now only apparently get like $1,200 to survive for our period, we don't know yet how long it's gonna last. And rent in New York is very expensive, or in some, it doesn't even, it's not enough, it's not enough. It's not gonna work out in a good way, and it's gonna be very, very bad globally. And I found a good guy that shares great news, and the banks are failing. Small banks are failing. It has happened, and I remember my parents in Serbia encountered it, that they already had hyperinflation. In Germany, they had hyperinflation. The banks cannot, bank runs gonna start. I don't know how fast, maybe, because they're already limiting how much cash you can withdraw, and they're promoting, our cash is safe and all that. All of that crap, those dirty little lies, and the sweet talk to make you calm again, but it won't work. Enough is enough. And there are a couple of channels you should definitely check out. That's what I showed you to you now. I think that's a German channel, but I try to follow different news. And in my eyes, so this channel, the Crypto Lark, is really, really good. It's a really informative platform, and we should all, like I mentioned earlier, be ready for what could come. And a big economic collapse is on the way, and we should not be delusional. I think life's going to be the same, because it's not going to be. There's no way what's currently happening. And this channel is cool. He even had a feature with Aiken, because Aiken wants to help the African economy with his coin. And I mean, I haven't looked into all of it. I just tried to get a broad perspective. I'm not a specialist. That's why I refer you to some of the very involved and established people in the industry. And as I mentioned, I will have hopefully in the next couple of days some Zoom calls with people that work in the industry already, and maybe can recommend them some things you can do to get a step into the door. I mean, traditional stuff will be transferable to blockchain, and it's a transformation process, but it's good to be open-minded for it now, and why not share it? But yeah, the question is, are you ready, or are we ready for this new decade of the information age? I definitely want to be ready. That's why I use my time wisely, and I recommend everybody to educate themselves as good as possible. And I do hope some of this information helps you. And yeah, there's also deeper stuff, so that was more like traditional and rational thinking, and just learn the things. I'm not saying invest all of your life into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, but learn about it. At least learn about blockchain technology if you don't have the opportunity to buy in. And I know a lot of people now live from check to check, and I don't blame anybody, but learn, just be aware it's there, and it's going to grow, and it is the future. And a couple of channels that will show this dude is pretty raw and interesting. I mean, some stuff is conspiracy related also, but sometimes fiction is not far from reality, and current circumstances happening are very odd and strange, but the goal is to get better out of this. Despite what's happening around, doesn't matter. The obstacles are there to be conquered and challenged. And fearful and hiding at home, hoping for somebody to save you, won't do any goddamn thing. So cut the crap, look into it. Definitely, I recommend it. And I was unfortunately kicked out for some reason of the recording, but nevertheless, I want to end this with a bit of interesting talk about, that's what I say, good or evil. I mentioned earlier, blockchain can be used for good or evil because it's a powerful tool, and Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, said that gold is, God's money, and Bitcoin is the people's money, and there's truth in it. But not only Bitcoin or crypto, it's about blockchain technology, and big corporations use it for the bad thing, then you can control people that way easier. So we have to be really well aware about what's happening around us and make the right choices, and not just give away all our rights. If I see what's happening, it's not good. I mean, I've mentioned in the last video, this Hungarian politician dude now is like a new age Hitler, Everybody's just throwing away their rights. Take them, we don't need them. That's not the way to go, guys. Don't throw away the freedom, It won't be returned once it's taken from the government, and put that in your mind. I definitely try to share that perspective, that we have to be aware of this worst case scenarios, and I want to end this little trip I found from London, Rio. It is interesting. This dude is as I mentioned, sometimes fiction could be reality or vice versa, but it's an interesting point, and I do want to end the video with it, so check it out.
The survival mechanism will agree to anything, no matter how draconian and how persistent, so long as it will aid its survival. So what a pandemic does, they call a pandemic, declared by Tedros, the World Health Organization anyway. What a pandemic does is kicks in this survival mechanism. And it means that not only do you accept authority imposing tyranny, you will demand that authority imposes tyranny.
Yeah, that's it basically. Interesting point. Think about it. I definitely thought about it, and when I see happening around me, then it makes sense what he says. People are afraid and scared now because the invisible terrorist is around, and they're out of fear. They stupid shit. Why can't you buy toilet paper? Use newspaper. It's probably gonna be thrown to your doorstep for free, and save the other money maybe for some food, because stuff can get rough, and we gotta stay strong, Hyperbolic gang out here. If you dig this stuff, definitely check out strong mind stuff like David Goggins, Wim Hof. There's so many people that you can be inspired and mentored by, and you don't need a stupid media to scare you with statistics and stuff. Choose your days wisely, because every day counts. And that being said, stay strong. Good night and sleep tight.